We would like to think our life is more intentional than it is, that we can clearly explain how we got to where we are today. Tracing back to some point in the past, we tell how we had a vision of the future, developed a plan, and executed that plan, and presto, here we are. Reality is, it's rarely that intentional. Scientific research tells us we underestimate how much we will change. When we forecast our future, we anticipate we will change very little. The way we are is pretty much the way we will remain. When we look to our past, we are accurate in describing how much we have changed. We have a clear understanding of who we were in the past and who we are today. The same is true in our business. We see how we have changed over time, yet we underestimate how much change there will be in the future. So I'm Scott Smith, and in this session, we're going to discuss intentional change. The changes you make may be incremental. Small changes like simple course corrections or other changes may be significant, a new job or community, changes in your business model or a major supplier. Recently, I've been following the plight of several businesses that closed shop. They're no longer in business after many years of success. The reason for their demise was outside of their control. Each of these businesses had leases that were not renewed. They had no plan for such an occurrence. As each of these business owners projected into the future, they did not anticipate a change to their lease. They underestimated the amount of change they would incur. The result, they are each now shut down, no longer operating as businesses. Let's be intentional about preparing for and making changes. Do not be caught underestimating future change requirements. I promise that in this session I will give you the steps you need to be intentional about change for you personally and in your business. Change is going to be required. Change is going to happen. There is a process you can follow to plan and prepare for change. The motivation to change is based on the understanding that our current state is deemed to be unacceptable. This may be self-defined or a result of outside influence. The process is the same. We have a current condition and we look to the future and project an acceptable state. We have a realization that without some change, we are stuck. It's almost as if we're in a dark cloud and only able to focus on that which is immediate. We are not making progress. In your business, you know you have good products. Customers like what you have. You simply need more revenue, more customers. It might be that you are incredibly busy. Your phone keeps ringing, messages and orders keep coming in, yet at the end of the month, where's the proof of all of this activity? Where's the money? You need to improve profitability. And there's one thing we all have in common, 24 hours in each day. In that time, we fit in sleep, work, recreation, family time. And when you look over your calendar, are you choosing what happens in each of those 24 hours? Or are you overwhelmed and missing some balance? Do you feel you're neglecting something? Health, family, friends. The current condition is not acceptable. What if you were in control, making intentional choices that grow revenue for your business? How about if you were not feeling so busy all the time and your company was showing increased profit on each customer? What would it mean to have each hour of your day, week, month, or year determined by you? Intentional change. Let's look at the steps to follow to be intentional about your future. And let me give you a tip right now about your future success. Research out of Dominican University in California shows there are practices you need to have in place if you are serious about reaching your goals. First, you need to have goals. It sounds logical, but it's not as common as it should be. Second, you need to create a plan to meet your goals. Have a vision about your future. Just simply having a vision about your future will not get you there. Third, you need to make your goals written. I also recommend setting a time frame for achieving those goals and putting that in writing. This will increase the urgency of attainment. Fourth, tell someone about your goal. Share with them what you want to accomplish and when you plan to achieve them. This accountability partner is important. Fifth, and this is critical, update your accountability partner each week. Tell them what you're planning to do. Then, next week, tell them how you did. This is a big commitment by your accountability partner, so be wise in your choice. Now, I have shared that we underestimate how much we're going to change and that we can be intentional about change and that goals need accountability. Let's look at the 7 steps for intentional change. Number 1, future casting and self-discovery and a time budget. Future casting is the process of defining the future. Self-discovery involves capturing your values and priorities. Time budget is a non-judgmental examination of your calendar where you are putting your time as reflective of your priorities. Mapping what you do with your daily allowance of the 24 hours may surprise you. Second, define your goals and examine them in relation to the time budget you completed in step 1. Now, your current goals, determine, are your current goals consistent with your time allocation? The calendar review was non-judgmental, just as a financial planner would ask a client to review spending habits. It's not good or bad, it's just gathering facts. And after the time budget review, we clarify stated goals. Are they indeed the right goals? If the time allocated did not accurately reflect the goals as stated, we can change either the goal or the amount of time dedicated to achieving that goal. It's fine and acceptable to change our goals following a time of self-discovery. Are the goals we've been pursuing ours, or have they been defined by the expectations of others? We ought not to live our lives in comparison to other people or businesses. Analysis of our competition is wise. Just do not let that company decide what is important to you. Research from the University of Texas at Austin discusses the difference between living a life out of scarcity and living a life out of abundance. In a life of scarcity, there are winners and losers. A life or a business in which success is defined by comparison leads to a point of view based on scarcity. My company is not as successful because the other company has more clients, a bigger staff, larger facility. I lose because I have placed the other company on top. Or my organization is successful because I have a larger empire, more people, more customers, more. I only win because I place certain aspects of my business above that of another. A life based on abundance tells us there can be multiple winners. When it comes to competition, I often say, what would Coke be without Pepsi? Competition leads to improved success, better products, improved customer satisfaction. The Department of Motor Vehicles has no competition. Here is a verbal example of an experience I've created. Go ahead and try this sometime and see what happens. Take 2 plastic Easter eggs, and inside of one, place a $1 bill. In the other, a $5 bill. You can be more generous if you want, but I like putting $6 into this experience. Now get 2 volunteers to receive an egg. Have the first person choose and be dramatic about the choice. Are you sure you want that egg? Would you like to change your selection? This emphasizes the fact that they are making a choice. Have the second person take the remaining egg. Also be dramatic that they had no choice, that they had to be happy with the egg that remained. Now, have them open the eggs and show the others what was inside, a $1 or $5 bill, and ask, who won? Our conditioning will lead to a pronouncement the person with the $5 bill was the winner. This is a result based on a perception of scarcity. There must be winners and losers when we employ comparison. If the crowd determines that they both won, see, neither of them had money when they walked in prior to opening the eggs. This was a gift. So this is a view and a belief based on abundance, that there can be multiple winners. Now in step 3, take a deep analysis of the current state. In step one, we looked at what the future could be, how we want it to be, personally or for our business. We determined that we want to be intentional about bringing that future into reality. We need to understand the present condition and what to keep as is and prioritize what to change. This process requires financial review and evaluation of the business model, that is, how you make money. The goals defined in step two can be classified into financial and non financial. Financial goals may be paying debt, accumulating savings, or improving revenue or profitability. Non financial goals include time balance or self improvement, such as education or physical health. To achieve financial goals, the math has to work. If you want to pay off debt in a specific period of time, the cash has to be available. Will the business, in the current state, allow for enough cash to be applied to the debt to reach zero balance in the determined time? We are also looking at the correct measures of the business. The metrics will track. The metrics we will track determine if we are on course to meet the goals. We can measure many things, but you should only measure what you are able and willing to change. If you examine the results of a certain metric, but whatever the results show your action is the same, then you are wasting time and resources in the measurement of that item. The results measured must drive action. Results A, actions A. Results B, actions B. Step 4, bringing clarity to the future state and selecting the metrics for our goals. Here we are bridging the deviation from the current condition to the future state. Our present condition is the basis upon which we build to bring about our desired changes in future. The items in our present state that are satisfactory need to be identified to ensure we do not lose those as we move forward. The activities to change those areas needing rectification must not overshadow what we enjoy in the present. A simple example is the person wanting to grow their business to better provide for the family, and that person gets so lost in the tasks of the job, family time becomes non-existent, and relationships suffer. We must create measures that reflect values, priorities in the achievement of goals. If your goals are to increase revenue, then we may measure new customers acquired or units sold or hours billed. Profitability or effectiveness could be measured by net revenue per client, client retention, or scrap rates per job. The non-financial goal of time balance may be measured by blocking time in the calendar for family or fitness and a weekly review noting the successful percentage of time allocated to those purposes. Step 5. I mentioned the study from Dominican University. A key component in achieving goals is to develop a plan to meet those goals. This is called activity-based planning. Financial plans that grow top-line revenue by a certain percentage are fine as long as there are planned activities to meet that growth rate. We have described the future for ourselves and company, defined and refined our goals, taken a hard look at the business financial model, and completed a financial analysis. We have metrics to measure the progress toward goal completion. In this, step 5, we create our plan. Once again, the math has to work. If you want to grow your certain number of customers and you know your closing rate, how many people you have to talk to before someone buys, you're able to develop a plan. For example, if you want to add 4 new customers each month and you have a close rate of 1 in 5, you need to talk to 20 new prospects each month. That's 4 new clients times the number it takes to sell one. So 4 times 5 is 20. The questions you need to answer: how will you find 20 new prospects each month? And when will you talk to each of those 20 prospects? You also need to examine your capacity. If each meeting with a prospect takes 1 hour, you need to allocate 20 hours each month, or just under 5 hours each week for prospecting. Examining your goals and having a plan to meet them may require prioritization. One goal may take precedence over another. These are the choices only you can make. Step 6. See, an idea without execution is worthless. If you have arrived at step 6, you have invested a significant amount of time in your business. And this is important. We often spend most of our business hours working in our business and not on our business. By investing the time to thoughtfully go through the first 5 steps is fabulous. Do not let that time go unvalued by putting off implementation of your plan. Now, you need to set milestones along the way. Goals may take years to achieve. You need to have moments of success along the way. If the goal is health related, celebrate significant hours or days spent in the gym or steps taken. Success breeds success. Our brains fire off endorphins like dopamine when we have accomplishments. It makes us feel good. It's a reward and encourages continued success. Be diligent in implementing your plan. Having a plan may simplify changes as you travel from present condition to future state, but it will never be easy. Step 7, the final step. Monitor and maintain your plan. As I mentioned, you should have an accountability partner in this journey. You have a significant investment in this plan, but more importantly, you have defined goals that you are implementing through intentional change to achieve those goals. You have aligned your goals with your values, established priorities. The metrics you have established will guide your progress. You have established activity-based planning to take you from our present to the future. Keep your focus on why you are doing what you are doing. Let your accountability partner or team know what you plan to do. Share with them how you are doing, and be honest about the frustrations you have. Then celebrate with them wins along the way. I promise to give you the steps to be intentional about your future. Perhaps you've taken notes, you have already thought about what you want to change and what you want to keep. Let's take a quick review. 1. Describe your future. 2. Define and refine your goals in alignment with your values. 3. Evaluate your present condition. Take a look at your financial and business model. 4. Clarify your future state and establish metrics to measure your progress. 5. Develop an implementation plan. 6. Execute on your plan. And 7. Utilize an accountability team. So now you have a choice. Stay stuck where you are or be intentional about your future. If you are interested in pursuing a personalized examination of this process and how you can use this in your life and business, contact me. Let's schedule time to see how you can implement this today. I'm Scott Smith. Let's connect on Twitter and LinkedIn. Find me in my various social channels on the web at dscottsmith.co. There you can also schedule a call. Let's discuss what you want for your future. The future is yours. You get to decide. Will you let change happen or will you be intentional? Today, be intentional.